Sorry.
You hear me? Oh, there you
go. I can hear you. Just the first thing I see of you is just,
huh? Oh. I was sitting there trying to get everything all logged in because I got my old laptop to charge. I just like moved the cord, then it started charging. I'm like, what the fuck? That's why it's so much clearer. I'm on I'm like, I ain't even finna move it. It's gonna sit here. I use it for the show because it got the clearer, the clearer camera on it.
Yeah. Oh man. So we got Coach Pickering at 7:30.
Okay.
Sunshine's gonna join up. The long-awaited return of the young Prince Sunshine.
Good. Let me know when he come on. I'm gonna smoke until then.
I was gonna say, I was like, yep, get it all out now.
Yeah. I finally went to the cannabis club and got some trees. It had been a minute. Got me a nice little baseball bat.
I'm in the works of trying to get us partnered up with a cannabis brand. Trying to get us hooked up with Rove.
Mm. I just got done making the fucking police report so I can file charges against his ass again. So I can finally got the I got that paperwork Friday finally. We went to court and I was just fucking because the judge was like, I was like, this whole time, like since last year I ain't been served, and because the first judge told me he gonna throw that shit out. And never threw that shit out. And so I was like, man, just give me the paperwork now. I'm not finna keep going through this shit. Let me see what the fuck he wrote down. Let me see what I'm up against. It's a bunch of bullshit, dude, talking about that one of the days talking about me and my wife put the entire school in danger. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, where is the show me the proof of this? Like, you got all these dates and stuff written on here, but no evidence attached to it. I'm like,
what did I just walk into?
Some bullshit.
Some bullshit.
Some bullshit.
Oh my gosh.
Dealing with this same bullshit with my wife ex for like the past 4 years.
Oh, okay.
5 going on 5.
Fuck. Keep doing that.
What, man?
Fix that.
That's 6. You watched the race?
No, I was at work. I'll be at work. It's rare I get to even watch TV these days.
Well, the good thing about Formula One is most of their races are like 6, 7 a.m. my time.
Mm.
So they're like,
yeah, but he has work at like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning.
like 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
All right, let's. I know Kay is going to be late as usual, so we got to get this started before Coach comes in here in 20 minutes. Oh yeah, I didn't tell you, huh? We got Coach Pickering, Coach Ray Pickering. He's the offensive analyst for the Texas Longhorns.
all right, man. Well, let's get this Formula One.
Let's get this going. And 5, 4, 3, 2. Formula One season has begun. The NFL continues to shock and awe, and we have Coach Ray Pickering at 7:30. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the All Pro JAFFOs, another episode of Pernada Bros Productions podcast, where we bring you the highly elevated sports talk for the highly elevated sports fan. I'm your host, JP. Alongside me, as always, the best DJ in the entire world, Mr. DJ Mad 6.
What's going on?
And making the long-awaited return, our F1 aficionado, so we can talk about this season so far. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the return, Sunshine.
It's been a while.
It has been a while because you haven't been paying attention to shit other than F1, so I guess
Hey,
this is the only
man.
way we can get you on the fucking show.
Hey, man. Sorry.
Got to talk about it, man. Got to talk about it. Formula One season has started. The cars are faster. Some
No,
teams are better.
I
Some
wouldn't say
teams
the
are
cars
not.
are faster. I would definitely say that they're definitely a little slower, just based on the body mechanics and like the chassis and everything. But overall, the performance of the car of most cars, the overtaking, how close everybody was able to race, it did exactly what the FIA intended, and that was to, have closer racing, and it was a good race. It was a great race. It was a great opening.
Oh, for sure. That was one thing that I was noticing going throughout the whole thing was for a first race to begin this season with the new cars and everything else like that. It did not disappoint. Ferrari come in with a vengeance, ending the race 1 and 2. Charles Leclerc. I like saying his name like that. Charles Leclerc and Daniel Sainz Carlos Sainz. Sorry, Carlos. I was thinking Daniel Ricciardo for a second. Carlos Sainz getting the 1 and 2 for Ferrari. Lewis Hamilton steals a podium at the number 3 spot. And along there, you got one of the bigger stories that you were talking about while we were watching the race was Magnussen and the Haas.
Yeah.
And he ended up at P5.
Oh my God. Talk about scoring some points. I don't think Haas has seen any points in I don't know, it's been a couple years since they've actually, maybe they've seen some points, but to do it outright, and man, Kevin Magnussen, welcome back.
Gunter was happy.
Welcome back.
Gunter was so happy, and I couldn't be happier for him. I like that guy.
All the Drive to Survive guys out there, and they know you definitely feel bad for Gunter.
Yeah, well, we should, because the shit he's had to deal with the last few years is absolutely terrible.
Yeah, when it comes to Russian oligarchs, it's probably going to be a heavy time.
Well, they don't sponsor Haas anymore.
Yeah,
so
no.
That's all gone and over with.
They got
McLaren surprised the hell out of me.
An unfortunate story. It's an unfortunate.
McLaren was in the top 3, top 5. The last 2-3 years, at least that I've seen, McLaren has been competing for that 3-4 spot, obviously, because Red Bull and Mercedes have been, dominating the scene the last, decade, really.
Just Mercedes.
Well, at least competing 1 and 2.
For the past 8 years, it's definitely been who's competing for second. You know what I mean?
What? And then with McLaren, it's like they've been in, like I said, they've been in top 3, 4, 5, and everything else like that.
They've definitely been top 5. At least the past couple years. It's just unfortunate because they were really starting to get that 2021 car going, and they had some really good pace. It's just, the new regulations, a lot of teams are still figuring it out, though. Even Mercedes, to be coming in and by no stretch of the imaginations did they expect to be on the podium in this last race. No. Between
Lewis, especially Lewis he was like, fucking A, we got.
If you would have seen free practice and qualifying and everything, Hamilton just looked like a bobblehead, man. Like his head's just the amount of porpoising on the car. It's just sitting here doing this crap, and you see his freaking helmet going up and down. Like, the fact that he can still drive that car is beyond me.
It's kind of proved. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get this very straight. Sunshine here is all through and through Team Red Bull.
Yes.
He's got the jersey. He's got, he's a big time Max Verstappen fan. And for good reasons. Red Bull is a very good team. Verstappen is a very fucking good racer. But Red Bull within the last 5 laps of the race, both cars within a lap of each other, the power failed. Like both of their cars just basically shut down.
Yeah. Fuel pump issue is what was reported from Red Bull.
For both of them?
For both of them. They both had the their fuel pump. Something was going on with it. They didn't get into too much detail, but I had seen some comments on YouTube or whatever talking about, oh, fuel pump wouldn't have caused Checo to spin out. And this it's just like when you're going that fast and your engine just dies. Literally just dies. There's nothing. Yeah, all that momentum carrying through the rear is going to spin. I don't care what it is. It's just the amount of G-force that they're turning into these corners is just. I mean, you're fighting 4 or 5 Gs. Going from 200 miles an hour to
that's 6 on the straightaways, bro. We're talking like almost 200 plus.
Yeah,
These motherfuckers are flying, bro.
And you come up to a corner and you're braking 75 feet, depending on when you're, and it's crazy because you see a lot of people who have never driven a Formula One car, and as soon as they get into that thing, they hit the gas and you see their head fly back and they're looking at the sky and they get into the first corner or whatever, they finally adjust their head and then they get into the first corner and hit the brakes and you just see their head just do this.
I mean, you gotta have. I've seen the workouts that the drivers do to prepare for it.
These guys got necks, man. I'm telling you, man. These guys got straight necks.
Matt Six, have you seen some of these machines? It's like a full weight and chest here that they have to like they have to
I've
push
seen it.
down.
Yeah.
What? And then was it the ones where they're doing that and
it's all necks. It's all neck space. Because, I mean, imagine, going from 200 miles an hour to 20 miles an hour in about half a second. Your head's going to go flying forward. Like your whole body's going to want to keep going and to be able to. And on top of that, in order to even push the brake to have any effectiveness in the brakes, you have to apply at least 300 pounds of pressure into that brake pedal. 300 pounds of brake pressure on that brake pedal just to so they work right. So these guys are definitely athletes, and it's crazy.
Put their bodies through hell for 50 plus laps every freaking week. That it is pretty crazy, and for 3 days straight.
Exactly.
With the practice runs, the qualifying, and the race itself. It's like when you're going that fast.
Yeah.
And some of these crashes and stuff like that you see, it's like they're dead. There's no way. There's no way that these guys. But then the safety protocols you say on the cars.
I just remember. Well, I don't really remember because I really didn't get into it until maybe like last year. But like doing the research on like stuff that in Formula One, the halo, the invention of the halo over the driver's, his head. That halo has saved countless drivers. It saved Romain Grosjean in 2019. Hamilton last year. With
Max, coming over the top of him,
really landed on his head, and that halo saved his life. Just like, and it's just the amount of safety that is still prevalent in the sport is insane. Because anything that goes 200 plus, on a back straight.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a modern marvel to, the car just doesn't rip apart or just fly away,
Pretty much, dude. Like the more and more I watch it, the more impressed I actually get with the amount of work and stuff like that they have to do to do these races.
All the way back to the factory, you know what I mean?
Yeah. The whole team and everything getting into it. But from what we saw yesterday and what you've seen and stuff like that over the weekend, Ferrari looks really good.
I'm really happy for them. I'm really, really friggin' happy for Ferrari and to see what their upgrades are going to look like and their different things that, their different interpretations. What I'm really interested to see though is because Red Bull probably has one of the best power units on the track right now. I mean, they're the fastest on the straight, and when they figure out that balance, that's going to be a scary car. I guarantee it. Once Max and they get all that data and they fix that, and There's not a team on the grid that's going to be able to keep up with them.
But that Ferrari car, Charles Leclerc that was one of the things that I kind of noticed about with Leclerc was he was being just as aggressive as Max. He was matching the aggressiveness of Max.
Well, yeah,
which I hadn't seen before.
And it's crazy because you see, just before they have different points for when they take that DRS, and he was being real clever with it. Max was thinking he was doing something going into turn one and overtaking like that. But, for Leclerc to look at that and go, okay, well, I can definitely get him on the next one if I stay with him, because he's not going to have as good a run. He hasn't had a good a run outside coming out of corners, making it stick. He hasn't had a, the car hasn't been, it hasn't been staying on track. You know what I mean? He's driving on rails out there. So, and him knowing and having the wherewithal to be like, okay, I need to be behind him when we get to that DRS point so I can have that DRS to,
get ahead of him. Because that was one of the things that I saw. It's like, yeah, Max passed him up, but he couldn't hold him off.
No. Well, because the next zone, the next sector was absolutely another DRS zone. It wasn't as long as that front straight, but it's still long enough for him to, get by him. That opening that flat wing really does give them about 10 more miles an hour, speed boost. It's just,
Yeah. I mean, I was also looking at it going, because literally before it was just, I believe it was lap 48 when the crash happened, or when
in lap 47 was
when Checo went down and the yellow car came out. Leclerc, no, was it before that?
This was, Pierre Gasly.
It was before that because Leclerc was up by like fucking 30 seconds at one point.
No. Not at that point. I think he was maybe at like, I think he was at 7, or Max had just pitted before the safety car came out. So yeah, he was up about 30 seconds. So what happened was basically the engine blew up on Pierre Gasly. Either the heat from the
thing caught fire.
And I mean, that thing was on fire. Like that thing.
He got out of that thing quick.
Yeah, man. He looked a little panicked. I'm not gonna lie.
He looked like he was really trying to get out of there fucking quickly.
And them showing the livery and everything, and just like it was just boiling away. It was like, what the heck?
Like what the hell just happened?
Still
there?
Smoking. Like they put the fire out, but you could tell like it was still cooking from the inside.
Yeah. Just before that whole moment though, it was very clear that Leclerc was going to cruise to victory. After Gasly went down and the safety car came out and everybody, the gaps and everything had to close up, then it made it actually an interesting race.
Yeah, no, and that was definitely flashbacks from last year. Oh, that was scary. Oh my gosh.
The commentators are saying the same thing. Like, wait.
And I'm sitting there going, I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, you're here we go again,
Let's only unlap the cars between Max and Leclerc.
Like, what the heck, And
they did the full thing though. They unlapped everybody.
They
had enough laps to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
I think what happened last year was they did it too late.
I honestly 100% believe that, Michael Massey panicked, and he had no clue what was going on. And it was just for him to try and please everybody. And I love the fact that, the principals are not going to be able to talk to the FIA director, the race director anymore. They're no longer allowed to, talk to them. And I understand, hey, like we should be, pushing in everything for the team, but it's
over the top.
Yeah,
it really is.
Like me,
because it's almost like every fucking lap there's something to bitch
it's
about.
Kind of like baseball. The manager goes out and talks to the umpire. It's like it's just a waste of time, bro. Like just he's out or he's safe, whatever the hell. Move on. Why are you arguing for?
But I mean, from this race, it does look like. I mean, was there 23 races total? So there's 22 races left.
Yeah. Either 22 or 20. Well, no, Sochi's no longer in the. The Sochi Russian Grand Prix is no longer.
So 21.
So yeah, we have 21 left.
21 races left for all these teams. I mean, Ferrari got max points.
It's a long season.
It's a long season. Ferrari's got max points. They're looking really good. Going into what you've seen and what we know and everything already, what are you really expecting from this season?
Well, as far as the first race goes, I'm really happy that just we're getting a lot closer racing, more wheel to wheel action, more, it's definitely in with the new, regulations and all that stuff. It's nice to see that obviously teams are going to have to figure out the whole porpoising thing. But that's going to come. It's not going to, and to see Mercedes where they are, it just tells you, yeah, you might have had anything can happen though. You know what I mean? Like, and I fully expected Mercedes to come out and just, dominate or at least been in top 2 contention. But, barring that fuel pump thing, they were looking at maybe 5 and 6.
Yeah.
And for Mercedes, and that was their best outlook, like the best scenario. And just to see them struggling like that, it's kind of like, whoa, like
it opens things up. And then as I do more research into it and you see the legend that is Ferrari and what they've put on the track and everything else like that from years past and stuff, it's like if Ferrari is doing well, then the sport of F1 is doing well.
Yeah. But there's been no losers, as far, well, there's been a lot of losers, but the FIA keeps fucking winning, which is a little annoying, but, like with any other sport, the NFL wins, no matter what, like the organization is going to win out. And I'm just really excited to see a lot closer racing like we saw. And shout out to Guan Yu Zhou.
Oh yeah, he got his first points, right?
First points, first race with Alfa Romeo, first Chinese driver. Congratulations to him. And
who are you picking for world champion?
World champion, I can't pick one because obviously I'm gonna have a little bias, but maybe like a top 3 deserving this year. So who I expect. If things, as of right now, just going off the information right now, I expect Carlos Sainz to win. I think
over Leclerc.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, Carlos Sainz is, as soon as he finds his form, man, like that guy he's damn good. I think Max would come in second, and a hopeful, or at least my next guy is Max, and my third guy, hopefully, pray to the gods, but I'm hoping Checo gets his first world championship because he's got the best right foot in the game. I mean, that guy's tire management is insane, and that's what wins races. So,
oh yeah, I mean,
able to go longer, but as soon as they figure out that fuel pump situation and get that power unit going and finding that.
It was even that.
Red Bull is going to be scary.
Sons of bitches. Anyways, appreciate you, Caleb. Sunshine, thank you for coming on. Ladies and gentlemen, he is going to be on with us at least for the remainder of the Formula One season, once a week after F1, so we could talk about it and get more into the sport because the shit's getting exciting. And if you're not watching, you should be. It's early in the season. We got plenty to go, and the races are going to be clean. Sunshine, see you next week, brother. I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.
See you,
man. Colts got a new quarterback, huh?
I don't know.
Yeah, we ain't forgot about that. We ain't letting you go without that.
I knew someone's going to come up, too.
He hasn't been paying attention. Next week, I'll inform you a little bit more.
Yeah, because I'm not paying attention to football. I have no clue who's even in March Madness or anything like that. It's Formula One,
Yeah, it's been so far. So hey, we'll see you next week, bro.
All right, man.
Talk to you later.
Bye. All right, Matt Sticks.
Yeah.
Have a good one. Have a good one.
Oh, it's good. Ladies and gentlemen, that first segment brought to you by Raise Energy. You guys already know the best energy drink on the entire planet. Raise Energy. Go to repsports.com, reppsports.com, and use the promo code Alpha Raise to get 50%, or actually 50, no, 15. If it was 50, that'd be incredible. 15% off of your order. Prickly Pear is almost done. Get it while you still can. Get your gear, get your flags, demand more. Join the Raise Rebellion. Appreciate Raise for being with us since day one. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to a time in the show where I am actually super excited because, as you see on the logos that this man is wearing, he is part of my beloved Texas Longhorns. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show the offensive analyst for the Texas Longhorns, Coach Ray Pickering. What's up, Coach? How you doing?
How you doing, my man?
Oh man, it's been a pretty interesting weekend thinking about it. Going, man, it's like this is a school that I've watched since I was a kid. Being able to talk to a coach and fully understand this position, because this position, the offensive analyst,
Right.
I don't think I personally have ever heard of that. I mean, I'm sure that position has always been there, but can you describe what that is for the people who don't know?
Yeah, basically, the definition of being an analyst. When you think of an analyst, of course, the word analytics comes to mind, and so in turn, you think of numbers. So basically, man, it's defined as a number one, it's an all-field role. It's not accountable position as a coach. So there are limitations that I do have as an analyst coach. But it does have value to the program. It does have value to what's being done offensively and things of that such. Got great instructions from the head guy, Sarkeesian, and the offensive coordinator, Coach Flood, working closely along with those guys. But basically, my job is to, break down the opponent weekly, try to stay ahead of the game, try to give them, good tendencies of our opponents, and just to be, you know, clear. We also self-scout ourselves as well. I think it's a great position for me. Having an offensive coordinator background, is having that mindset and that thought process of going into a weekly battle with an opponent, of just a complete breakdown of what we're going against. And then it also details some things of, just having a platform, having the ability to network with different coaches and, things across the nation and stuff like that. And so it's quite unique. And so far, I'm loving it.
I mean, just thinking about everything that goes into the game already in itself, to now have to be the guy to kind of, all right, I'm pretty much the one who's got to be able to look at all this and be able to relay that back to coach so he can, get his work and everything else like that in there. But right now, again, I'm super excited because last year, that was last year. That was last year. Right. This year is something new. The offense is looking good, and you guys just had a practice. Was it today or was it was today, right?
Now we'll officially start practice tomorrow.
Tomorrow, okay.
We'll go in the morning, and we have a morning session that's scheduled for tomorrow.
So what is it looking like right now? I know having a new head coach for the team last year, obviously there's adjustment periods and everything else like that. But right now, the way things are looking, how would you say at least the mindset that the team is looking at going into this season?
Well, definitely like when I first stepped foot, which today was, of course, my official day today, and just stepping foot in the environment that Coach Stark has worked his butt off to create. Just the wonderful job he's done with building his own field staff and building his support staff, and even in the recruiting department, just building that tree uh, around the program to exert, just his thoughts and his visions and the goals that he wants to attain. He defines them clear. Uh, so being a football guy and just stepping into it, you can just get that feel. It's almost like being a player when you're out and you're practicing and going through whatever it is to go through whatever situation or whatever. But you kind of look up and then you have this sense uh, that everything is gonna be okay. Everything is towards that one common goal. And we all know in this business that common goal is to win. You know, um, and then also, man, when you talk about um, some things that are connected to winning, the things that help you gravitate towards, what Coach Stark's vision is, the small things that quite don't get mentioned, but it takes a big toll of of where you're trying to garnish this thing that so just stepping into it, man, and just having that feel for, yeah, this is the right place, this is the perfect fit, everything's being done to the T and things of that such. I think a lot of Texas fans will have a lot to expect, and they will have a lot to look at here in the near future.
I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to it. It is something that at least myself and my family have definitely kept an eye on, for a long period of time. So it is definitely going to be exciting to see where the team goes at this point. But for yourself, how did we get to this point? What got you into coaching? What was the mindset to actually want to be able to help young men? Because that's one thing that we've done on this show. We've talked to a lot of coaches, we've talked to players and stuff like that, and
Right.
being able to see, at least from the coaches' standpoint, of how they want to be able to develop these young men, and then when you talk
Right.
to the players, it's you get a feel of how they react to certain coaching. So in your eyes, what's your stance on it? How do you get first, how did you get here? And then
Right.
what is your main goal when it comes to this developing the young men in the game?
Right. So man, when I was coming through high school, it's a funny story because my high school coach, me and him were talking on my way to Austin, and we were just kind of going down memory lane and things of that sort. And he brought up the story again to when I was in high school myself, and my mom, man, she put education uh, like as a firm foundation for me, man. And and I like just never let that depart, So I've always been an education type person. And so when I was in high school, man, I was the guy that um, I had some of the better grades, and I finished, the top of my class, and even like right now, I got two masters, and got my bachelor's from USM and stuff like that. Obviously, I've been in the classroom, but when I was in high school, man, I thought I was gonna be a doctor. I had those type grades where you would think like, oh yeah, this guy's gonna be a doctor, he's gonna be a lawyer, he's gonna be that guy. You know what I'm saying? And I've always kind of had that personality that just that can light up the room. And I'm so blessed to have it because it's to where I am right now. And we'll talk about that um, to answer the second part of the question. But um, in a nutshell, man, I thought I was gonna be a doctor. My high school coach told me, "No, you're gonna be a coach." And I kind of like smirked at him and laughed. And I'm like, Coach, you must don't see like the classes that I take. I'm in honors and graduated highest honors and stuff like that. So I'm like, man, I'm gonna be a doctor. I go play until I can't play no more, and then that's what I'm gonna do. And then he looked at me, he said, Chief, he said, I know you can't see it right now, but the way that you operate within our program and the way that counsel guys and get guys in line and, the way that just kind of hang it all on the line uh, for yourself and others, I can tell that you going to be a coach because just kind of a little shorter story, I started varsity sports when I was in the eighth grade, and ever since eighth grade, I was a team captain. I was, leading the defense and stuff like that. And so he could see it and I couldn't, but he did mention that I was going to be that. So my career went on. I played football, played baseball at Jones Junior College. Um, then I ended up just going the baseball route because I thought that was going to take me much further. So I ended up getting hurt before my senior uh, campaign. And I hurt my arm and, I tore my rotator cuff and all that good stuff. Went to Dr. Andrews. Dr. Andrews, like, look, there's no way that you can keep playing with this arm. It's gone. And I had an option. I could have had surgery, could have sat out. But I'm not that type guy. I'm always like, I'm excited for my next opportunity. I'm excited to play the next game. I'm excited to give the next rep and stuff like that. And I just couldn't fix myself with sitting out. So I called my coach. I called my head coach and I was like, Coach, it's time. Hey, I decided you were right. I wanna come back and I wanna coach. And he was like, Are you sure? And I was like, Yeah, I'm sure. I'm ready. And so I left Montgomery and I never looked back. And so I ended up going back to my high school and I started coaching. And he gave me plenty of responsibility. I was like the defensive coordinator for the eighth grade team and offensive coordinator for the ninth grade team. And he just gave me a bunch of trial and error. He wanted me to just throw it all on the line and just get out there and just experience this and experience that, which everybody knew that I was like a defensive guy, which made me kind of, miserable for the role that I've been in kind of all my career as offensive coordinator. But I went back there, started coaching, and then I figured out like, man, I got a gift to motivate kids. Because when I went back, we actually won like we were like 28-2 in 2 years at my high school, and then I started thinking like, hey, I may could do this at a higher level, and I'm just sitting there thinking out loud. So once I put things in mind, then I figured that I got to put them in place. And so that's what I did, man. And I ended up getting an offensive coordinator job at the rival high school. I go to the rival high school. We reel off win after win. We go and play for a state championship. We lose. We go back to the championship. We win it. Um, then I left there, went to the other rival school, and then we come back and we go play for another state championship. And so, people just kind of started collecting, like, yeah, it may be a catch to, the things that he does as far as like application goes and stuff like that. So I do like to believe that, I do have a gift from God, and I'm blessed and I'm highly favored to be capable to lead young men and to be capable of just mentoring them, getting them to new heights and getting them to the best of their ability. You know, uh, you know, I I can pretty much say that I love to say rather that I can get the best out of these young men. That's what led me to the things that have occurred over the past 2 or 3 years, um, which the way I got here. Um, took a job at Lane College, and I became the offensive coordinator there, along with the quarterback coach. And we did some things there that haven't been done in school history. So, one thing led to another, and I actually uh, had already been networking because when the pandemic hit, I got online and I started some Zoom clinics, and those Zoom clinics ran for like 10 weeks, and we did it for 2 weeks straight. We had some of the best coaches in the world, in the country, in college football on there. Names like Gus Malzahn, Josh Gaddis down in Miami, Rhett Lashley, that's the head coach at SMU. We had Kenny Dillingham, who's the OC at Oregon. We had Hugh Freeze was on. Just some collective names, man, that's big college football. And people just started to realize, like, hey, he had that ability to network, so you can tie that down with recruiting, and it all works like hand in hand. So, with that ability to do some things of that sort, in which let me let you know, like, I didn't do that by myself. There were others that were involved that kind of, pushed me towards do this thing because they knew where I wanted to be at this point, and so they kind of encouraged me to go through with it. And at first, I'm gonna tell you, I was kind of frantic to do it, but it was the right move because during the pandemic, when everything got shut down, nobody was doing anything. And so us as coaches, we would get together on the weekend and we would just talk ball, and so I just started, kind of scaling everything out and piecing everything together to where, I would get these guys on. And I'm talking about guys across the country, wanting to get on just to talk ball and just to, kind of help the cause and stuff like that. So, like I said, one thing led to another, man, and I was in had got blessed and ended up taking the Lane job and became the offensive coordinator. This gig kind of came open, and I knew some guys that they knew some guys, and I, eventually interviewed for it, and here I am.
I mean, the road, people, I mean, obviously people understand the road of an athlete, like the college athlete, or what they have to do, obviously the work in the weight room, the off season stuff. One thing that does not get talked about enough is the grind that a lot of coaches have to do to get to those scenarios. Because be honest, coaching is not just X's and O's. Call a play and see if that works, or you have to, one, make your players believe in what you're teaching them.
Oh yeah.
And then developing them, and then coaching them, and then the plays itself, preparing for a whole nother team every single week, being able to get the practices right. There's so much that goes into coaching that when you get to this level of Division I professional athlete level, these are elite guys. These are the best coaches of all in the country. You don't get these jobs by, just kind of being there. You have to grind it out. So it's like hearing these stories, and especially with yours, coach, it's just hearing the stories every time that we talk to different coaches. It's just, you start to really appreciate the mindset that a lot of the coaches, and it's really, again, we say it every time, it's really refreshing to see coaches that actually, that give a damn, about everything.
Yeah, you hit a point, man, because it's kind of ironic because everywhere that I've been, we've been able to absolutely do what you just said. We've been able to get trust from kids. We've been able to, to sell our program, sell our vision, sell our expectations, and kids have bought in. And that's a task at itself, just getting kids to buy into, your philosophy and things that you want to get done, on and off the field, but it's crazy because I always ask my quarterbacks, especially, do you trust me? I ask them that all the time. Do you trust me? and they'll say yes, sir. I trust the coach, and whatever you want me to do, I do that. But that's to me, that's just a natural ability that some of us coaches, the ones that really, really love it, the ones that sacrifice the time, sacrifice the heartaches, and sacrifice the finger pointing, all that good stuff. The ones that clean commodes before and taking out the trash. And those are the ones, that sacrifice so much. Um, and those kids realize that, but they don't only just do it when it's time to do it. They don't do that on Friday night. They do those things like behind closed doors. They take kids home. They give them rides. They give them money. When they need something to eat, they clothe them when they need clothes. They do whatever that feels right. You know, and that's just a big thing. When it just comes natural, you do whatever it feels right. It's nothing about like just trying to win that kid over or nothing like that. It's like just trying to do what's right by that kid. You know what I'm saying? Getting that kid extra help when he needs extra help in the classroom, or trying to just figure out a way to make things make sense for the kid. Because you just never know what they all go through. And I've had, several that, it's been some growing pains, whether it's been at the house and it's been at the classroom. It's just different things, man, to where it makes your day when you're able to see that kid still pushing forward.
Mm.
And you know that you'll do everything in your power, for one, to put that smile on his face, but just just making your day just because you had something to do with that smile. That kid may not ever go to D1, he may not ever go to the pros, but man, just to see that kid just be able to stand and just keep moving forward, or hey, he grew through your program, he became a man, and now he's married, now he has a job, and now he has this. You know, I get a kick every time, like when I go back home. Some of my former players have kids, and they're excited for me to meet their kids.
Mm.
Or they talk about their kids. Hey coach, I want you to coach my son, or I want you to, work with my kid and do this and do that. The same way that you did with me. And you just get a kick out of little things like that, man. And that's kind of what fuels you to like keep going. Just keep getting better at the things that you do, man. Just seeing things like that, like little simple things.
Mm.
It's the old cliche, but you know, uh, they want to know that you love them. They want to know that you love them. And, some of us, coaches got a sixth sense of just knowing how to do it right, And then when you talk about uh, belief in a system, schematically, uh, there's three things that I always talk about. I talk about effort, I talk about efficiency, and I talk about execution. Because before we talk about anything, before we talk about play, before we talk about a punt return, before we talk about a kickoff return, before we talk about anything, I need my guys to be ready to run through whatever.
Mm.
Okay? Because we always talk about two things that you can control. And those two things that you can control is your attitude and your effort. So we tend on effort. Like we're big on effort. And Coach Stark, he mentioned it today. Like I don't care where they run to, as long as they have the effort. And that just made me smile because that aligns right there with my philosophy. I don't care what we call. I don't care what situation it is. I don't care what the score is. I don't care what's going on. That effort has to be there. Okay. And then me personally, like I said, I talk about efficiency. So we like to be efficient on first down because that keeps us within the framework that we want to play. It keeps us within our style that we want to present on the field, which is the up tempo type, pace. So
Mm.
long as we are above the sticks, we are efficient on first down. That gets us in the state that we want to play fast. stuff like that. And so then, lastly, but most importantly, when you talk about execution, it takes a unique trait, it takes a unique thought process, it takes a unique, uh, just a unique mental state in order to execute. When you're talking about doing the simple stuff over and over and over and over and over. So when you put the effort into it, and once we're efficient, now it comes to technicality. The mechanical part of what we want to be efficient of. You have to be an engineer out there. I tell all my guys that I want uh, some engineers. That's what I want you to coach out there. I want you to coach some mechanics, okay? And so that allows me to go out and execute because then I always ask them this question, like, okay, if they got a quarterback, we got a quarterback. If they got a running back, we got a running back. If they got a receiver, we got a receiver. We got good a good front five. They got a good front seven. How is the game going to be decided? So therefore, when the game is on the line, it's gonna come down to things like discipline. It's gonna come down to things like mechanics, and it's gonna come down to things like effort. So those are the things that we harp on like every day that separates us. That it has helped us gain separation throughout my career.
Well, Coach, again, I'm excited. I was excited to have this conversation. I'm even more excited for the season to begin. Hope everything goes well. Congratulations on the new position. As a fact, got to keep it real quick with the coach. High expectations. We got to be winning. I don't care. Coach, I'm going to be honest. I don't care what else happens. If we don't beat Oklahoma, I'll be upset. I'll be upset. All right.
Well, man, it's been like surreal for me because, like I said, I'm a small town guy from Taylorsville, Mississippi. I went to West Jones High School, and I I ain't gonna say I had it bad, but I had to work for like everything that I've had. So get here, man, just seeing it for what it is. Just the fact of like just being in the staff meeting with Coach Sarkeesian, which is awesome, and he's a very, very down to earth, hard working guy, man. Just to be in there, looking at the pieces that we're putting together, man, it's like surreal. But I do pinch myself, come back down to earth, and like I said, today was just my first day, but I felt good in there, man. Felt like everybody was family oriented, very helpful and things of that sort. So I can truly say that Texas is going in the right direction. And I think we'll put a product out on the field that you and others will be very, very proud of.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Coach. And ladies and gentlemen of the JAFFO Army, another JAFFO family member. Coach, anytime you want to come back on, talk ball, anytime during the season or whenever it is, doors always open. Let us know, and we'll be happy to have you on again. And appreciate your time so much. Thank you for all the wise words and everything else like that. It's going to be giving us something to talk about over the next few weeks and stuff as well. Ladies and gentlemen of the JAFFO Army, offensive analyst for the Texas Longhorns, Coach Ray Pickering. Appreciate you, Coach. We'll talk to you next time. Hook 'em.
Hook 'em. I've always wanted to say that. Hook 'em.
Yes. Love it, Coach. We'll talk to you later.
Yes, sir.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy I got to talk about with them because again, last year wasn't fun. Last year wasn't fun watching. So that's what I'm saying, like talking to him and getting a feel for it. I'm glad he's excited to be in the role that he's in. I'm excited that we've got somebody who's that motivated and that ready to put in the work to help get Texas back on top. I'm more excited to hear that. So, ladies and gentlemen, you guys know the newest or one of the newest partners of the All Pro JAFFOs. But that segment brought to you by Gunner Sports, and you guys already know Gunner Sports, Leslie Jackson, Bay Area, Cali Classic, the Gunner Sports Academy, all of it. You want your kid to get better, get the film, put in the work and everything that's necessary to get to the next level. Gunner Sports is where you need to be. If you're a coach, want the networking, just like Coach Pickering was saying, networking is super important in the coaching world, especially if you want to get to another level. Gunner Sports is where you need to be. If you're a coach wanting to push a kid, you feel like he hasn't gotten enough love on film or anything else, Gunner Sports is who you need to be talking to. So we're very happy to be partnered up with Gunner Sports and Leslie Jackson. And once again, appreciate you guys. So before we get out of here, NFL, my God, Deshaun Watson's going to the goddamn Browns. This is not at all. I mean, when me and Kay talked about it last week, we were talking about Devontae Adams and stuff like that going to the Raiders, which again, if even the Green Bay Packers with Aaron Rodgers wasn't winning with Devontae Adams, Derek Carr ain't going to do shit either. So now we were talking about it last week, and we thought it was in the runnings for the Falcons and the Saints. That's who everyone was kind of thinking.
Yeah,
that's where it was going to go. And then out of fucking nowhere from the top rope, by God, it's Steve Austin's music.
Elbow back.
Deshaun Watson comes out and says, "No, I'm going to Cleveland." Why? Because I just want to shit on Baker Mayfield, and I loved every bit of it. To be completely honest with you,
that's fucked up what they did to him.
Hey, you know what?
They fucked Baker Mayfield.
He shouldn't. What he shouldn't have done is gone to social media and all that stuff and been like, basically giving a goodbye and everything else like that. Deshaun Watson is on the market. Every fucking team is looking for Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
He's a top 5 quarterback. Every single team is going to be looking at Deshaun Watson.
He got paid too. Fully guaranteed. Shit. Like, damn.
It's absurd.
Right.
And he's still got, he's going to be facing a suspension. How long? Probably going to be a short period of time. We know how the NFL likes to do their disciplinary actions, if you can even call them that.
Well, I don't know, because right now he's just facing the civil suits.
Yeah, well, the criminal suits have been
yeah, so he might not get suspended.
Well, no, conduct policy, whatever it is that you want to call it, guys have been, suspended for less.
Yeah, but so if he was found out guilty, that means he didn't do nothing. You can't punish a man that didn't do nothing.
Well, if he's not even going to go to trial and just settle it, that's something different as well. But the Cleveland Browns also structured the contract where this year, just in case Deshaun Watson was to face any suspension, his base salary this year is $1 million. Yeah. $1 million in base salary. So just in case he gets suspended, he's not losing out on a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
What the fuck? The Cleveland Browns are literally like, "Hey, we got you.
Right.
We'll help you out. We'll help you. Hey, you need lawyers? We got lawyers. We got you." Look, again, if it has all come out to light that he, in fact, did what he is accused of doing, get that motherfucker out, put him behind bars. No need to hear about his name anymore. We're done. But again, until then, we are not. We're not basing anything, off of, like personally or anything. We're literally looking at when it comes to being on the football field. Deshaun Watson gives the Cleveland Browns 10 times better chance than Baker Mayfield ever thought he could. That is what it all comes down to. And so again, when it comes down to being on the field, Baker, who's going to want Baker?
Nobody. You don't come to the Niners.
No, you need to shut your mouth. Okay. First of all, you need to stop with that
Jimmy G ain't got too many more options.
I don't care. I don't care what we do. To be honest, I don't even give a shit if we keep Jimmy G, just as long as we don't get Baker. If we have Baker Mayfield on my team, I will not be rooting for the 49ers this year. I'm not even fucking playing. I'm not even playing. I will not be wearing any 49ers shit. I will go back to my old roots and be a Rams fan. Fucking try me. Like, you put Baker Mayfield on this goddamn squad, I'm done. I'm
If you
done.
run through the Rams, them you just jumping on the bandwagon because they just won the Super
Call
Bowl.
it whatever. Marshall will be proud of me of going back to where I was initially.
He don't want you now. He already
No,
announced it.
he did already say something. No, go ahead, stay there. He said, "Don't come back. Don't let the door hit you on the way out." But I mean, like, so bro, the Browns gave up ass. 3 first rounders, 2 thirds, and a 4th. Well, basically, the future of the Cleveland Browns is what they gave the Houston Texans. Now, does this make the Cleveland Browns contenders?
It could.
They don't have Landry.
Odell back to the Browns?
No. Well, I mean, OBJ could be like, well, hey, I don't got to deal with Baker anymore. And this is Deshaun Watson. This is somebody completely different. He might want to go back to Cleveland.
Yep.
That could very well
They
be a
got Cooper over
possibility.
there. They got Cooper.
They got, I mean, half the time, yeah. But
Yeah.
they got Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
Oh, they got Njoku. They tagged Njoku, or I think they re-signed. What did they do with Njoku? I think they tagged Njoku. So he's got a decent tight end. The offensive line is usually pretty good for Cleveland. Man, in a move that definitely surprised the crap out of a lot of people, because I did not expect to look at my phone one day and say, "Oh yeah, by the way, Deshaun Watson is a Cleveland Brown." What?
Yeah, I was like, damn.
It's like, wait, somebody actually chose to be there? Like, what? Somebody actually decided, you know what?
Yeah, if I can get guaranteed money.
The entire
Contract guaranteed.
That's absurd. Was it $230 million?
Yeah.
Fully guaranteed?
Fully guaranteed.
We're in the wrong profession.
Man. Somebody was like the NFL giving away baseball contracts right now.
Jesus. I mean, an absurd amount of money to play a child's game.
Football.
We all love it and we all watch it and don't act. We're not going to sit here and act all high and mighty like we're above it. We watch it and enjoy just like everybody else. It's just the amount of money that eventually it's going to get to the next CBA that comes out. It's going to have separate cap rooms for quarterbacks and the rest of the squad. I really do think, because these quarterback contracts are killing teams, for the most part. Rodgers apparently was fully aware that Devontae Adams wasn't going to be on the team because of that contract.
They just greedy. You thought about itself.
That's really
like, fuck you. It wasn't for him. Now we'll see what Rodgers do this year.
I'm gonna do shit.
He ain't gonna do shit. He ain't got nobody to throw to.
None. I mean, he's got Lazard, who's okay, but he's a 3. You've got Valdez Scantling, but he's a 2. He's not a true 1.
Yeah.
Tunyon's a pretty good tight end, but can't throw it to Tunyon the entire time. Unless they go out and draft one of the top wide receivers in this next draft or this year, which historically they have not done. But even with a rookie wide receiver, it's like that was Devontae Adams. He is a proven top receiver in the game.
That was your go-to the whole game.
like it. I mean, the Packers don't know what the fuck they're doing. All they're doing is just catering to what Aaron Rodgers wants, and he's costing the team. Like that's just what it is.
Using them.
He is costing the team,
Right.
and it's just
He don't care. He about us. He about himself. He's on the.
he don't give a damn. He don't give a fuck. He can care less. Being completely honest, he can care fucking less.
Yeah.
He's getting his money. He's the highest, was the highest paid quarterback.
Yeah.
Up until friggin' Deshaun Watson goes and gets a fully guaranteed, $230 million contract, and he hadn't played in a year. So
right, I'm like, you haven't even played and got fucking maxed out.
like, that's just it isn't. I mean, I guess Deshaun Watson's agent fully went to the Browns and said, if Kirk Cousins has a fully guaranteed contract, guess who needs a fully guaranteed contract?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that agent was getting a little bit of piece of the pie too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So he's definitely doing backflips and jumping for joy right now too. But I mean, fuck. Deshaun Watson to the Cleveland Browns. What the fuck? What is going on in the NFL? What world are we living in, dude?
There's some crazy shit going on in the NFL. Every day I'll be looking, I'll be like, damn, this is something new.
It's just wild. Absolutely insane. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this episode brought to you by Mountain Mike's Pizza. What started as a single pizza restaurant with a casual, family-friendly atmosphere has since grown into a leading pizza brand with over 40 years in business. Mountain Mike's Pizza is now more than 200 restaurants across California, Oregon, Nevada, and Utah. From the very beginning, we aim to provide the highest quality pizza using only the finest and freshest ingredients available. 40 years later, our mission hasn't changed. Mountain Mike's Pizza the way it ought to be. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate the JAFFO Army for hanging out with us today. Coach Ray Pickering, great to talk to him. Sunshine making his return, giving his Formula One thoughts and the whole process of the race. Appreciate you guys again hanging out with us. You guys already know all the social medias, the JAFFO's AP. Go for myself, go to PvP Founder CEO. You see it right there. DJ Mad 6, you got him on DJ Mad 6 5150. Country K, you guys know where to find him, Country K 836. And then for the JAFFOs everywhere else on Instagram, you guys know JAFFO Sports, and Facebook and YouTube, Tornado Bros Productions. Hit the little bell, little reminder, like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, let them know. We got a lot of things coming up this Saturday, the spring game for San Jose State. We're going to be there. We're going to be seeing what San Jose State is going to be having to offer this next year. We're pretty excited to get down there, see Coach Zoe, Coach Brennan, and everybody else. Maybe JAFFO family members, Jabari Carr, and everybody going to be there too. So we'll see how that gets down. They've been practicing and stuff like that this entire month. So they're getting primed and ready to go. Spring game is going to be this Saturday. We will be there to give you guys all of our coverage for that game. Next time we see you guys, we'll be on Wednesday. Matt Six gonna be with us on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Matt Six Wednesday. K will hopefully be awake and be with us on Wednesday.
Now I think he said he had just got off work. He sent a message.
Oh, he just got.
Yeah, he had just got off work. Yeah.
Damn, they screwed him. Those bastards. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you guys on Wednesday at 7:00. For more updates on the sports world, JP, DJ Mad 6, Country K, Sunshine, All Pro JAFFO.